going to do it on my nails. There's no one else in the room. Hello, gang. Hello, friends. Hello, gang friends. Welcome back. Boom. Nail stuff, yeah? Okay. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So they say. So today's video is going to be all about prep for your nails. It is the best way to start to get a good, decent, nice, clean, crisp, professional set. It's all in the prep. It's not all in the prep. There's some in the application, of course, but it starts with prep. Even if you had amazing application, it doesn't matter if you've not done your prep. I wonder how many times I'm going to say prep. So we're going to take some cuticle nippers, a buffing block, which has seen better days, but it's fine. I'm going to take this tool from Glam, which has a pusher at one end, and it's got a little sort of sharpie bit there, as in sharp, not sharpie. And on the other end, it's got a, I believe this is called a thingamabob. We're going to be using that. You could use a cuticle stick instead, and we're going to need a file. This is going to be hand prep as opposed to e-file prep. Now, when you're doing a client, you're going to want to use a new file every time. So before you even start to do anything with the file, which is not actually what we're starting with, but you need to prep your file. So before you prep your nails, you need to prep your file. And to do that, I like to take another file. This is incredibly tatty, but I don't do clients anymore, so it's fine, okay? It's just me, it's just for the videos. Just for stuff, bits of stuff. So we're going to file along these bits here and these bits here because they're very sharp. You get that too close and you're going to cut someone, especially those clients who have got quite thin skin. So we're going to file. Maybe go like this. Just to soften this edge here. Can you see how that feels compared to that? Yeah, I knew you'd get it. Which side do we do? So now we do this side. I'm only going on the edge. I'm not touching any of this, so we're not losing any of our grit. The best part about getting dust on your desktop. So now our file is prepped, we can start prepping our nails. I'm going to do it on my nails because, you know, there's no one else in the room. So if we have a look at how my nails are now, they look pretty tragic. And you can see the cuticle that all needs to go. And all the debris on the actual nail plate. And we want to get that off. So we'll start with the thingamabob, which I will list in the description because you can get money off at Madame Glam. Let's start with this nail, which is looking particularly janky. Janky a word? I'm going to take the thingamabob, the other end of the thingamabob, and we're going to push back all of this and reveal more nail plate. Sometimes if you have clients that have really thick cuticle and it comes down to here, you push it back and lift it up. Give a little lift up so that you can cut it off later. And they're always surprised at how much more nail they have hiding underneath. Now, we can either use the side of this tool, which is quite scrapey, to scratch off all this stuff. See this here? This stuff here we don't want on there. Or you can use the thingamabob end of the thingamabob end, bob tool, and push up and then scrape down. And this scrapes it off as well. I'm not going to be doing this very well because holding my hand like this, not doing it for me. So we're going to scrape that off. And I'm not pressing down that hard You can see what's coming out, because we don't want to scrape actual nail, but we do want to scrape, so this side bit here, we want to scrape that off. We can hold it sort of parallel to the nail. You can see it's taking off bits of stuff. It's not bits of stuff, it's cuticle that is on the nail. And we need to do this, one, to help our product adhere. Tell you what else we need: a dust brush. We need to take everything off the nail so that when we apply product, there's no bumps or anything on the nail, even the tiniest little bump caused by this cuticle that's on the nail. So I like to use this side a bit more. I like to hold it not flat, but at a bit of an angle like this, and scratch just to get all that off. And you can go right up into here, scratch around, and just getting all this stuff off that we don't want on there for our application. That bit there. So now at this point, I'm going to lift this up again. Just give it a gentle push up to raise it off the nail. See that bit there? I want that out. Flick that out, scratch it off. And then we can take our cuticle nippers and we can cut off everything that is dead. And you can see what's dead. You can tell it's all crusty. So we're going to, God, this is painful. We're going to nip off all this dead skin. I've got a bit extra here, bit of surplus. And I do this by using this side here of the cuticle nipper, this side. I'm going to push it just above what we're cutting off. So I'm going to push it, and then it lifts it a bit, and then cut. Let go, push, cut, all the way around. Like so. And we get all of that off. Isn't that gross? And then we can see, got some more to get. We can see that there's some more stuff under here that we need to scrape off. I'm going to try and get these little side bits of mine. Now this is me. It's easier to tell if something's dead on your own skin because you can or can't feel it being cut. So I'm going to push this back again. Now we've got rid of that. Doesn't go back as far because we've already pushed it back. And just check that there's no more bits on the nail plate that we need to get off. See this bit here? Needs to come off. Okay. Now we could get this little bit here. So I'm going to go behind it, push back, and just nip that off as well. Give a dust so you can see what's going on. Okay, still a tiny bit here that I want off. I think this might be better for it. Yes, oh, I just got it off in one go. Okay, if you want to come down here, oh, wrong tool, bad habits, and go like this down the sides again, just to get any extra bits. It's about getting every last bit of all the crumbs, let's call them the crumbs, of cuticle. You see there's a white bit here. That's on the nail. That's on the nail plate. We want to get rid of that. Just with this. With a dust, see how much progress you've made. And then keep going. And I like to just make sure that it's all smooth so that when we apply, it goes on smoothly. If you have, let's say you had a bathtub and you turn the tap on and then the water starts running towards the end of the bath and it's smooth. The end of the water is a nice U shape where it's smooth. It doesn't run jaggedy. It runs in a smooth motion. if you have a rubber duck in the middle of the bath, the water is going to go like this. Something's in its way. If you have a speck of something on your nail, when you're pushing the polish up, so you've got your brush, you've got your polish on it, and you're pushing it onto this surface, it creates, again, that smooth shape of the gel, of the product. Something's in the way, a little bit of cuticle or a bump or something, it's not going to go over it evenly. In my head, that makes total sense. I don't know if it does to you. Why would I use a bathtub as an analogy? I don't know. Why not? Love a good bath. So I'm just going to get off any bits of dry skin I have around here. This white here, some of it is actually skin and some of it is on the nail. So you can pull the bit that's off on the nail off with this. Just scratches over it a little bit and gets it off. Now I like to buff. I'm going to buff right up to here, get this corner right at the top. And it's not a coarse buffer, it's a 60 100. So we're just going to go, mind you, 60 sounds quite coarse, but on a buffing block it's a lot softer. 60 sounds really coarse. And then down the sides, make sure everything is buffed. This also helps prep for the application of product, because you don't want any shine on the nail, you know. It needs to be nice and buffed for the product to grip to. Just check over it again, and then once I've done this, I'll just go in to check if I've buffed up any bits of skin that need to be removed. Oh, that was real skin. That was living. That hurt. See, there's a dry bit there. I think it's just because my hands are dry at the moment. But tiny little bits here. Just tiny little bits. But we get them off. And then we can shape. So you always want to come from the side. So as you have a nail straight at the side, you want to follow that line. You don't want to start bringing in your shape, be it rounded, tapered, stiletto. You don't want to start bringing the shape in until here. Don't start going up like this and having the nail get thinner from here. That's not good for anybody. So I like to make the sides straight, nice and straight. And then I'm just going to round it, just because my nails only grow when they're rounded. But I do then cut them off short. Right. Let's check under there. We've got any bits of stuff that we filed off. Bits of nail. Not using the most professional terms, am I? That's that one prepped. Compared to this one, which is not prepped. And I know there's bits there, but that's my actual skin on the sides of my nails, just my dry skin. So let's do another one. So remember, we push back. It's the first thing I do. Push back. And then we can give it a little lift. You can see behind here where I'm lifting. That's not as far as the tool is going in, by the way. Although it's going in, yeah, a bit before the end of that line you see. So we'll lift that up and then switch this round and check for any bits of cuticle that we want off. A well-prepped nail has such a vital role in the longevity of the products that you put on it. So I'm going to give this a little dust and then press and snip, in shot preferably. Press and snip, press and snip, press and snip all the way around. Now this finger does have some dry skin here, so I'm just going to cut it off. There we go. None the wiser. Okay. Let's use this. See if we've got any hidden up here where we've cut off now. We can get a bit further up into there. And down here, there's always a bit here. See that? I like to make sure that's off. There we go. Oh, that's satisfying. It's very satisfying to prep, especially as my nails are in dire need of it. Okay. Not as much stuff on that one as there was this one. And then we can buff again. Can always take more off if we notice any bits. Even if you've done all these steps. If you notice a bit that you've missed, go back and get it. Okay. Dust that off. This here, is that finger or cuticle? I think it's cuticle. I'm just going to scrape that off. Oh, there it goes. That's better. Get everything off. And then just neaten this here. Bit of scuffed skin. And this bit here. Oh, this is not easy holding my fingers like this and not balancing on anything. Just going to cut that off. That's a bit of a hangnail, I think. Nip that in the bud. Otherwise it'll peel all the way up my arm to my head and it'll be like peel off my brain. Okay, then we can file. See how this nail comes out a bit here? So we want to file it straight. You always want to start with a straight side, no matter what shape you're doing. Start with a straight side. And then you come in from the tip. You don't come in any higher up. I had a lady who used to want almond nails. And I said, right, well, they're too short for almond nails. They were super short nails. I said, if you want almond, we're going to have to start filing into the nail bed. So I said, if we do one, just how they are, then next time in 3 weeks in your appointment, they'll be ready for almond. Every time she came back, she'd gone home and she'd filed them up there. So they always looked kind of awful. Right. 2 prepped compared to the other 2. Let's put the flash on. You see the difference? Especially the shine. This bit here. Get off. I just want to get a tiny little bit. Okay. Okay. We can give them a wipe with some isopropyl alcohol, which you'll always want to do to clean them. Once you've done this step, the client is not to do this or touch anything because they're just going to get oils and things back on here. So once you've done this, there is no going back for your client. Don't touch anything. So now we can have a close-up and see how there's nothing on there. No bumps, no bits of cuticle, just completely smooth. Especially this area where you aim for a very neat cuticle area application. And that is nice and neat compared to these. Oh, ignore that. That's something's going on there. You see? At the cuticle area in particular. So that's how I prep. I'm going to prep the rest of my nails because maybe the next video we'll be moving on to the next step. We could do gel polish application, or we could do tips and overlays, that sort of thing. I'm going to be doing some more content that's sort of helpful for those training or new nail techs that they might find helpful. So I will carry on with this. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And that is very simple, very easy, but pristine prep. I hope you like it. I hope that was helpful. I don't know. I've done a prep video before, I think, but I thought I'd do another one to start a series of, this sort of process. So if you think it'll be helpful for anyone, then share it with them. Give the video a like, hype, comment, subscribe. And I'll show you these, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Preparing to fail. No.